Hi, my name is Emma Dewey, and I'm the Agricultural Advisor for the Center of Southwest Culture. And we are out here today learning how to observe the soil health in your field without doing any rigorous testing, thanks to a grant that we've received from the New Mexico Soil Health Project. Out on this section of the field, the property owner created a pollinator strip. So you can see all of this biodiversity that is happening within this little corridor here. You can see all these little bees that are pollinating all of these wildflowers here. There's lots of shrubbery. There's a ton of different kinds of grasses. And this is really what you want to see as an indicator that you have healthy soil, because the more biodiversity that you have in your field, the more you're going to increase your pollinators and your beneficial insects that overpower any of the predators or the pests that you would have that would cause a decline in the health of your plants. And so just looking at this area, I have my shovel here, but I can already tell that because of the amount of armor that is on this soil right now, and because of the biodiversity, that if I were to take a shovelful of the soil in there, it's going to be full of life. And that's really the best indicator that you can have that you're going to be working with a healthy, biodiverse field. This is part of, it's like the outskirts of the little pollinator area that they've created. And I've taken out a shovel full of dirt here. And what I want you to see is the structure of these roots here. When you have these structures of dirt that kind of clump around the roots like that, those are aggregates, which is the glue that is produced by an increase in carbon in the soil. And it's basically produced by the microbes that live in the soil. This is an indicator that the soil here is super healthy. And I also wanted to show you this little guy right here. That's an earthworm. And as you can see, the amount of soil that I dug up here is maybe about 3 inches down. So I know that if I were to dig even further than that, I'm gonna find a lot of earthworms in here. And even the soil down here, you can't feel it because you are watching this virtually. But down here, the soil is actually cool and moist still. Even though this is an area where it's xeric, so they're not watering this area frequently. So all of these grasses that you see, I'm just gonna put this back here so we can cover up that bare soil. All of the armor that these grasses are creating can actually keep the soil 20 degrees cooler than it would be if it was completely bare. So we know that when the heat increases, that the amount of evaporation of water in the soil increases. So really having all of this biodiversity is creating a micro ecosystem where it's completely self-sufficient. There's better water infiltration. The microbes are feeding carbon directly to the soil roots, which is helping to increase the health of the plants. All of these insects that are around us are benefiting because the biodiversity here is offering a huge banquet for them, basically. You saw me pull out a little earthworm from that little chunk of soil that I dug out. One of the other ways that you can observe the soil health of your field or the area you're testing without having to do any crazy laboratory tests or anything is to do an earthworm count. So what you want to do is take about 1 cubic foot sample just with a shovel, and you're going to count how many earthworms are in that area. So you can see just without even having to break this apart, we have one right here. He's going back in there. But the earthworms that are in the soil are basically a representation of how healthy the aggregates in the soil are. It's a good indicator of microbiology in the soil because earthworms are a microorganism. There's one. I'm gonna put him back in there actually. Oh, there's two. You can see like how dark this soil is here. It's not just because it's wet. It is because it's full of life. There's a lot of carbon that's been fed to this soil. And you can see all of the organic matter that's actually in here. That is helping to feed the microbiology. You can see that it's really easy to make an assessment of your soil health without having any special equipment or tools other than a shovel and your own eyes, your 5 senses. So in our next video, we're going to be going a little bit more in depth. We'll be using a couple of specialized items to be able to show you the infiltration rates of water in a field that has super high biodiversity like what we've seen here today versus soil that is completely bare. And I think that it's going to be pretty cool. So like our video, share us, and we'll see you in our next video. Thank you.